Hey guys, welcome to Thursday Thoughts. My name's Theo. I'm the youth minister here, and today we have two guests. We have Eric and Dylan. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in just a little bit, but first let me explain what's going on here. Previous episodes of Thursday Thoughts were more about Eddie sharing his thoughts or me sharing my thoughts, but now we want to give you guys an opportunity to get to know other people in the church who you may recognize. Maybe you've seen them before, you might even know their names, but you've never actually had a conversation with them. This is our opportunity to hear them and to see their faces and just get to know them a little bit, so that when we're all back together in church, you can say that you kind of know someone new. So first, let's start with Dylan. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name's Dylan. I go to Alhambra High School. I'm about to be a senior, and I've been at the church since I was, I think, 5 or 6.
Cool. And Dylan, if you had to have 2 noses or 4 eyes, what would you pick?
4 eyes.
Why?
2 eyes on the back of my head to see everything that's going on.
So you're gonna shave holes in your hair for the eyeballs?
I guess, yeah.
All right, cool. Eric, introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. My name's Eric. I go to Monte Vista. I'll be a senior next year. And I've been going to the church since I was 5, I believe.
Cool. Do you like muffins?
Yes. Or
if there's a pastry you like more, tell me which one.
I don't really like pastries, so I'd say just muffins. Yeah.
What do you like more then? Help me out. This is important.
Pizza, I guess.
All right.
I like pizza more.
Okay, pizza.
I don't really eat pastries, yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so my question for you is, if you had to choose between never eating pizza again in any day of your life, or suffering from a rare disease where babies and pizzas look exactly the same to you, which one would you choose?
I would probably just not eat pizza, because I wouldn't.
You wouldn't try like poking the pizza and see if it like cries or something?
I mean, I feel like that'd be super confusing, because actually, I don't know. No, actually, yeah, I would rather have that disease. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine a world?
Yeah, I feel like a baby wouldn't be sitting in a pizza box, and a pizza wouldn't be sitting in like a stroller or something. So it might be pretty easy to tell them apart.
Can you imagine a world where like all you see are like pizzas and strollers and like people carrying pizzas like this and like burping them?
Yeah. That'd be pretty strange.
Pretty strange. All right, let's move on to our topic for discussion today. So for our viewers, this is totally unscripted. All I did was let them know the question that I had for them. So just a little bit of background about this. This past Saturday at Oasis, our youth ministry, we talked a little bit about racism and what is a Christian response to what's going on with all the protests regarding George Floyd. But I want to go a little bit further beyond that and talk about maybe more common forms of prejudice. And don't worry, I'm not trying to go super heavy, all right? This is actually very casual. So prejudice, going back to the original words in Latin, it just means prejudging. You guessed it. It's judging beforehand. And that's something that we do. A lot of times we judge people based on our first impression of them. Like, you meet them once, and for the rest of your relationship with them, you have that idea in their head, oh, of course Theo did that. It's because he's always gassy. He just burps all the time. And you don't realize that there's more to me as a person than just burps. But there are times when we allow our prejudgments, our conclusions about people, to really limit them and box them in. So Dylan, tell us about a time when you prejudged someone and you were totally wrong.
Well, I think the most common place for prejudice for high schoolers especially is school. It's the place you spend the most time at, and usually you prejudge other people that aren't your friends. So for example, for me in AP US history class, there's people who don't do their work, they don't participate at all, and they just sit there quietly. So you think, oh, why are they in this class? They're probably just here to socialize. They're not even here to learn in the first place. But then comes a time when we have a group discussion as a class, and they bring up a very interesting perspective and a valid point to the argument, which can change your perspective of like that they're not dumb, they just are very much more reserved in that sense of when they want to talk, I guess.
Eric, how about you? You have a story?
Yeah, okay. So basically the other day I was out getting groceries with my mom, and I was sitting in the car, and I was basically like watching people drive by, and I was trying to guess like who is driving in like what car. Basically I was like seeing the car drive down, and then as they pass I would try to guess if like I got the driver correctly. And so like one of the cars really stood out to me. There was like this kind of old pickup truck, and it had one of those frames in the bed, and I saw it, and I kind of assumed that they would be maybe like Hispanic, maybe just based on their car. But it really surprised me seeing that they were actually not Hispanic, they were white. So that's just an instance pretty recently where I prejudiced someone basically based on their car. Yeah.
Just based on their car. Yeah, like Leonard, as in like Leonard at our church, he has an old pickup truck too. It's pretty old, man. Like it doesn't have power windows. You have to like crank the windows down. And I was thinking like, yeah, I didn't think if I saw that truck, I did not think it would be someone like Leonard driving the truck. Yeah, there are times when like our first impressions of people or things just are totally wrong, right? What about like at church? Was there anyone at church who like really surprised you when you met them?
I guess when I was a younger kid, when I was like in middle school, when I first joined Oasis, I saw a lot of the older high schoolers, and they were very close. So I always was very intimidated by them. But when I got to know them, I realized that they were actually very chill people. They're really cool to hang out with. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you think that was intimidating? Like the fact that they were just close?
I don't know. I think it was just being new to Oasis and just seeing people that were much older, and I don't know, they were just very used to everything and everyone else, and I wasn't. So that's probably what. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's how like any new person would feel anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For sure. Dylan, how about you?
Not really, in my sense, as through Oasis when I first started going, my sister was a high schooler, and I was in the church since I was 5, so I was relatively known like by the high schoolers because of my sisters. So I fit in okay. I was able to talk to people. Overall, in church it's pretty good. I think when we have newcomers, it's hard because we don't know if they are like a believer or anything, so it's kind of hard to sometimes approach them with like questions, especially since you're at like a religious youth group in that sense.
Mm-hmm. How about are there times that you know that you were prejudged by someone else and they were totally wrong and you guys like are good now?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Have I told you about what people thought of me at college?
I don't think so.
So in the music department, right? There are people of a lot of different personalities and backgrounds and sexual orientations. So I didn't know this until sophomore year, but people apparently thought I was gay. And I was like, where did you get that idea? Like, I have never exhibited any kind of like attraction toward guys, right? And then like some of my closer friends, like who had heard like gossip and stuff, they were like, oh, it's because like people notice that you care how you dress and that you're nice. And I just thought that was the most interesting thing, that if you care how you dress and you're nice, you must be gay. And I was just blown away. And I was like, it's a really sad thing that in the music department at UCLA, a straight person can't possibly be nice or care how they dress. It's really interesting just how people can find their own conclusions, right? Like they'll just look at someone and be like, oh, they must be like this, right? Yeah.
Actually,
Go.
Actually, now that you bring that up, the exact same thing happened to me. One of my closest friends now, like he's one of my closest friends. I hang out with him almost every day at school. And like he told me that in middle school when we were hanging out in the same friend group, but we didn't really talk to each other. And apparently he thought I was gay too, and I have no idea why, but now that's just something funny that we look back at. Yeah.
Dude, it's probably because you were nice, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to be nice in this world, dude. Okay, that's all I had in mind for today. Do you guys have any other thoughts?
I mean, what Dylan used for his example about like people in class, I like understand what he's saying because I can really like relate to that. Like sometimes there's kids who just talk a lot in class and you really don't understand them, so you just come up with these really negative assumptions, and that's like just something personally I've also experienced. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me, guys. I really appreciate you being here.
All right,
Any
thank
final
you for
comments?
having me.
Say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you next time.